One of the things that I've learned in corporate America for the last 10 years as a mechanical engineer is that getting your first job is going to be very difficult. As an engineer, we all know that the market is very, very competitive and there's a lot of engineers applying for one position. Now, another thing that I've learned is that once you get your first job and you network, then other jobs are they are most likely to be a little easier to get because you've already built some skills that can be very useful to companies. And I have a question here from a friend, Axel C. He asks, can you go in depth about entering corporate America as an engineer? He says, I love what I do, but I think corporate jobs are more secure and better overall. So please explain how to get there, a pathway. So the first thing that I'm gonna get right off the bat is, if you love what you do, I'm thinking that you are looking for something that is a little bit more secure. And what do you mean by better overall? Do you mean more flexible? Do you mean better pay? Do you mean better industries? What do you mean by better? You don't really explain what you mean by that. But I want to talk about security. You mentioned that you think corporate jobs are more secure. And let me tell you, my friend, nothing is 100% secure, right? Like nothing is 100% guaranteed. There's always going to be risk with whatever you're involved. But I do understand what you're saying when it comes to maybe with respect to your own specific job right now, you think that corporate jobs or jobs in a larger company are going to be a little bit more secure. But let me just tell you right now that I've seen engineers who work for a company for 30 years and before you know it, they're gone the next day because they're downsizing or maybe their position is no longer needed. So you gotta be careful and watch out for those and just keep in mind that nothing is 100% secure. And then you mentioned that you would like to know the path to get one of those jobs in a large company, in a large corporation, and how do you find out the position, the qualifications, and also you mentioned here how to transition from quality control mechanical engineering to corporate jobs. What I've personally seen and what I suggest you do is to actually look for similar jobs in a bigger company where you see the long-term benefits of transitioning. For example, if you already have quality assurance skills as a mechanical engineer, potentially look for a quality assurance mechanical engineering position in a larger company, but then use that as a stepping stone, kind of like as a hook that gets you in the door. But then once you are in the door of that certain organization, then you can start climbing up to or transferring or transitioning to other engineering jobs within the same company. And I'm not saying that you have to get specifically the same job, but you can get something similar, something that aligns more with the skills that you've already built, and then hook the next company. And then once you're within that company, then you can start moving around. I've seen this plenty of times in the organization. One of the organizations that I used to work at, there would be some engineers that would come from other companies, but then in the long run, they would get transitioned. Once they built a name for themselves, once people knew them, they would transition and take other jobs as they became available, other more engineering related, more technical related jobs. So that's what I will personally do with the skills that you've already built. And when it comes to you getting those corporate jobs or getting a job in a large organization, so there's two ways that I see that you can make that happen. Number one is obviously by applying, and the second one is obviously by networking. In my personal journey, what happened to me is I got lucky. I got lucky because I posted my resume online. I put it on monster.com, and my friend, who happened to be a recruiter at that time, she recognized my name and she gave me a call and told me, hey, I have a position for you. I think you'll be a great fit. So what I'm saying here, my friend, is you're gonna have to either apply, and apply to as many relevant positions as possible. Even if you don't think you qualify, I've said this plenty of times on the channel, even if you think that you don't qualify, if you don't meet the experience requirements, just go ahead and apply. Put your resume on Indeed, put your resume on Monster and Career Builder and all these different websites. Have a solid LinkedIn profile, and then put yourself out there so the companies can hire you, and then also reach out and network through LinkedIn. I've said this plenty of times, and I actually do have a job search checklist that you can use to your advantage, where I show what you need to do with respect to your LinkedIn, your cover letter, your resume, also what kind of common interview questions you may run into when you go through the process. So I highly encourage you to go to my website right now and then go and download that job search checklist. It will be extremely beneficial for your case. So that's basically how you transition. You go from where you are now, you start applying, you start networking, you start putting yourself out there, putting your resume out there, and then you just start poking and poking and poking, and eventually something is definitely going to stick, especially because you already built some skills. So also make sure that you market those skills very well, right, on your resume to make sure you catch some eyes and some recruiters' eyes, so that way you increase the chances of you getting the positions and jobs. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what else I can clarify. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace.